If you grew up studying Western classical music, rap can feel, well, kind of like a crisis. It's like it takes the rulebook we've all been taught and just tosses it out the window. But what if it isn't actually breaking the rules? What if it's just playing a totally different game with a set of rules that are just as complex? That's what we're going to dig into.
And this is really the core question, isn't it? We're all taught that music rests on three pillars: melody, harmony, and rhythm. But when you listen to a lot of rap, it feels like it just kicks two of those pillars right out from under the structure. So you're left wondering, what's holding the whole thing up? And this slide just lays it out so clearly. On one side, you've got the Western canon: melody, harmony, rhythm, all working together. But on the other side, with rap, almost all the weight, all the pressure gets shifted onto that one pillar: rhythm. So how in the world does it manage not to just collapse? Well, the secret, the answer, it all comes down to one word: flow. And this isn't just some casual term for how a rapper sounds. No. It's a really rigorous, technical system that actually does the job that melody and harmony would normally be doing. So what is flow, really? At its heart, it's a mashup of two key things: cadence and rhyme. You can think of these as the actual bricks and mortar that rappers are using to build these incredibly detailed rhythmic buildings. All right, let's break that down. First up, cadence. This is all about the punch, where the accent lands. A rapper isn't just talking. They are making these super strategic decisions about where to place the vocal emphasis, sometimes right on the beat, sometimes way off it, to create this incredible, almost hypnotic rhythmic pattern. And then you've got the glue that holds it all together: rhyme. But in rap, rhyme is so much more than just making the end of a line sound pretty. It's structural. We're talking about complex, multi-syllable rhymes that can happen right in the middle of a line. They act like these little percussive signposts for your ear, giving you that satisfying feeling of arrival. Okay, and this is where it gets so cool. This is how rappers create that feeling of tension and release, the exact same thing chords do in classical music. So a rapper might use what's called a triplet flow. Basically, they're stuffing 3 syllables into a space where your brain expects to hear only 2. It creates this amazing, off-balance feeling of tension pulling you along. And then, bam, the final syllable of the phrase lands perfectly, right back on the beat. That snap back, that is the resolution. And it feels so satisfying to hear. And really, this is the big aha moment. You're not waiting for the next note in a scale to resolve. Instead, you're waiting for the rhythmic pattern to complete itself. The flow literally becomes a melody, but it's a melody made out of time and rhythm, not out of different musical notes. So this brings us to that other classic argument you always hear, right? That rap is just poetry, that it's just words spoken over a beat. But that argument completely misses a huge distinction about how the voice is actually being used. And the difference, when you see it laid out like this, is so simple, but it changes everything. You can read a poem at any speed you want. You can pause, you can rush, it doesn't matter. But rap demands a fixed tempo. Its entire identity is built on its relationship to that steady, underlying musical pulse. Take that away, and it's not rap anymore. And because of that, the rapper's voice becomes something else entirely. It's not just a vehicle for words anymore. It's a full-on percussion instrument. They play with the timbre, that unique grain or texture of their voice. They use dynamics, getting louder and softer for emphasis. And they control the attack, how sharp a K or a T sound hits. It's pure, unadulterated musicianship. So at the end of the day, the very act of rapping is a musical act. It's not just about what's being said, it's about how it's being said in lockstep with that beat. That unbreakable relationship with musical time is the bright, shining line that separates it from spoken word. So to really, truly get this, we have to do something a little radical. We have to stop trying to cram rap into the family tree of the European conservatory. It's a square peg in a round hole. It doesn't belong there. We need to look at a completely different and equally powerful musical family. And that family tree has its roots deep in African diasporic traditions. You can trace a direct line from the call and response of work songs to the raw, emotional cries of field hollers, and maybe most importantly of all, to the blues. I mean, just picture it. An early Delta blues musician just holding one single droning chord on a guitar. There are no fancy chord changes to create drama. So all of that, all the emotion, all the rhythm, all the tension, it had to come from one place: the human voice. The singer had to do all the heavy lifting. And that, right there, is the connection. Rap's unique speak-singy style isn't some brand new invention. It's a modern, urban version of that exact same impulse you hear in the blues, the need for the voice to carry the rhythm and feeling when melody and harmony just aren't the main event. So, now that we've kind of looked at this through a whole new lens, let's put it all together. Let's summarize the true architecture of rap. It's not music with no rules, it's music with a totally different set of priorities. So if we just boil it all down, what did we learn? 3 main things. 1, flow builds the entire structure using nothing but rhythm. 2, the rapper's voice is a legit percussion instrument, period. And 3, rap's real ancestor is the blues, not Beethoven. So in the end, rap doesn't break the rules of music at all. What it does is offer this incredible proof of concept. It proves that you can build stunning, complex, emotionally powerful music using an entirely different toolkit, one built almost exclusively on rhythm, the texture of the voice, and the mastery of time. And that kind of leaves us with one final big question. If we insist on using only one yardstick, only one set of rules to measure all art, what other beautiful, complex, and brilliant things are we just completely failing to see?